Hey, good morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday. John with Empire Weather. Hope you guys are doing well. Here with your quick agriculture morning briefing. Chillier morning today across parts of the northern plains and the upper Midwest. You can see on the visible satellite this disturbance has dragged a cold front down here through the northern plains, and this has some periods of rain, mixed snow showers associated with it. That's going to slide off into New England, but the cold air is going to surge down with it later today. Otherwise, it's a sunny and pleasant morning across the Ohio Valley, down in the Mississippi Valley and the southern plains. Some fog and residual moisture down here in Texas, and all the cold again up here in the northern plains. It's going to be a little bit of an active day today, mainly this system that's going to slide through. You see these areas of snow showers that are sliding through parts of the northern plains today. They'll slide off to the east into parts of Michigan, maybe northern Illinois. Again, we're not expecting these to be overly impactful. More of a wind shift than anything else as these slide through the afternoon and into the early evening, and next thing you know, they'll be off into New England. Looking at temperatures today, again, we mentioned how chilly it is in the northern plains. You can very clearly see that frontal boundary that has slid through. So by this afternoon, it'll end up somewhere like this. All of our warmth will likely be down in the southern plains, into the Mississippi and Ohio valleys here, and that gradient will develop with your cooler air to the north of this frontal boundary that slides through the afternoon and evening. But you'll see it doesn't get all that far south, and by Thursday afternoon, things warm up yet again. We're back into the 50s. Parts of the Ohio Valley, down into the plains as well, and your cold air is relegated up here where we are in Minnesota. We are really in the cold center here over the last couple of weeks with cold and snow up here in the northern plains. So not surprising to see us cold on this map either. So again, that system will slide through, and the majority of Thursday looks like a pretty nice day. We'll have high pressure built in across the Ohio Valley. The exception to that will be across the northern plains, and that's going to be the beginning of our very impactful late week storm. So you'll see that models are starting to break out wintry mixed precipitation by Thursday evening. You can see that here across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and parts of the Dakotas. It is possible that we see some freezing rain and wintry mix impacting parts of Minnesota as early as Thursday afternoon and into the evening. And this is all associated with a warm front. And this system is going to really start to evolve on Thursday into Friday. So Friday morning, Thursday night into Friday morning, we're going to have quite a bit of precipitation going on across the northern plains and the upper Midwest. We'll also see some scattered showers and storms down here in the central plains Thursday into Friday, but the majority of impacts from the initial part of this system will be up here in the northern plains. And you can see that sort of evolving here, this first wave of this storm. The showers and storms will eventually evolve through the upper Midwest and into the Great Lakes as well, and the Ohio Valley on Friday morning. So a bit of an unsettled Friday morning. The real story, though, is going to be this low pressure system. You can see it starting to wrap up here in parts of the Dakotas and Nebraska on Friday, producing periods of heavy snow Friday morning into even parts of Friday afternoon. But what's also happening under the hood is that as this is evolving, moisture is surging northward as this low pressure system develops. And that moisture and instability is going to make its way up here into parts of the upper Midwest. That was a terrible arrow. Into parts of the upper Midwest as this low pressure curls in underneath. So I'm going to go back to the little bit of a lower resolution model here just to show you. But you'll see that low pressure form, and then all of a sudden, Friday afternoon, storms break out across the upper Midwest. And if we look at the instability forecast, the models are suggesting really quite a bit of instability up here into parts of the upper Midwest. And in addition to that, we also see a forecast for very powerful winds. You see these very strong winds in the upper levels pushing towards this. That is the recipe for strong, damaging winds and the possibility of tornadoes with this wind shear in this region. And we want to watch this really closely on Friday. So this whole band down here, really from Missouri and Arkansas eastward into parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Illinois, and then this second area in Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin, I think the possibility exists for severe weather here with this event, and the models have been very consistent. You can see this almost curled band of damaging wind potential and even some tornado potential down here associated with this system. And that's going to be something that we have to watch on Friday very carefully, because this could be a pretty big wind event and could be very disruptive. Essentially, again, from central Iowa and Missouri eastward as this system evolves very quickly on Friday. In addition to the potential for severe weather, we also see the potential for winter weather. And here is your band of snow that develops into Minnesota and the Dakotas. And notice how it wraps back in towards the Minneapolis metro and eventually into parts of Wisconsin Friday into Saturday. We're looking at the possibility of accumulating snow with this system. And if you look at where the models show that snow, it's a very broken band of snow. But again, this general vicinity up here in the northern plains, I think this is a winter weather impact event. And some of that snow might even get down into parts of Iowa. So again, Friday is going to be a very impactful weather day. Even sliding over to the Ohio Valley and looking at how this looks, this is a very impactful storm. There's rain, there's wind, there's severe weather, there's showers, thunderstorms. You can see this band of storms pushing in. We're not expecting a big severe weather threat in the Ohio Valley, mainly because this comes through during the early morning hours of Saturday. But still, strong winds likely and periods of heavy rain likely as well. Heading over to the Storm Prediction Center, we have a slew of national graphics that I wanted to show you guys. Here's the first one. This is a severe weather outlook on day 3, Friday. We talked about that severe storm potential. This is level 3 right here. This is an enhanced risk. And you can see how it encompasses a huge area, really from Iowa down into Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, even parts of northwest Mississippi and Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky. But this slight risk that runs around it, it's also very possible that we see severe weather in this region as well. So don't let your guard down in that general area. I would be remiss if I didn't discuss this other issue that we have on Thursday and Friday, and that is the possibility of fire weather in parts of the Texas Panhandle and southwest Kansas. This is an elevated risk of fire weather conditions across this region. So as our storm evolves into parts of the upper Midwest, as usual, as it has been for the last several months, it will skip over this region. It's very dry in this area, so your dry line mixes off to the east, but this area still has very powerful winds and dry conditions in place. And if you look at the maps, it's really several days of fire weather conditions. And here's Friday, where that spreads all the way into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. So I think the possibility of a multi-hazard weather event definitely exists on Friday. Your fire weather region is here with those strong winds pushing into this storm. And here is where we have your severe weather threat on Friday as well. So we'll watch our system evolve Friday into Saturday. You can see it moves off to the east Saturday night, and Sunday looks like a very nice day across the majority of the belt. And then, unfortunately, we have another system on the way for next week, and you can see this powerful low ejecting into the central plains. We're back to snow across the Dakotas. We're back to snow across the upper Midwest. And once again, the models suggest a large area of instability. Look at this anomalous instability for this time of year curling up into the upper Midwest. And so the potential does exist again for another severe weather event on Tuesday of next week. At the very least, the possibility of strong winds as this powerful storm evolves. And again, this will have a winter weather component to it as well on Tuesday. So we'll keep breaking this down for you, folks. This looks like a very active pattern starting on Thursday, Friday, and really continuing into the early and middle part of next week, probably even beyond that as well, as a very, very active pattern looks to develop here in April. If we just glance at the ensembles, you can see exactly why we've been, banging this drum for so long. Just look at this precipitation signal here through the 10th of April. Very active, hyperactive across the Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, and Great Lakes, and even into parts of the northern plains as well. So strap in. It's going to be a ride here over the next 2 weeks. Thanks for watching the morning briefing. More videos and details coming your way today. As I always say, I am off to grab some coffee. Have a great morning. Talk to you guys soon.